everybody. I want to welcome you back to the Dynamic Decisions podcast, where we explore the strategies that drive successful decision making in the world of business. Why? Because the best decisions come from great conversations. I'm your host, Teasha Cable, CEO of C Model Data, and today we have an extraordinary guest who has been a trailblazer in IT services and strategic leadership for nearly 3 decades. Her name is Leslie. She is the CEO of InterImage, an award-winning woman-owned IT services company that has delivered innovative, cost-effective solutions to commercial, federal, and municipal clients for over 25 years. Leslie, thank you so much for being here. Would you tell us a little bit more about the company and all the things that you're doing? And I forgot to mention that Leslie is also the co-founder of Pixel Rain AI, a cutting-edge AI governance platform that's focused on helping organizations understand and trust their generative AI deployments.
Thank you for having me, Teasha. Great to
Yes.
be here. I'm looking forward to the conversation. So yeah, I've had a fun ride. Started InterImage 29 years ago now, so it's been a while, and I've really focused on application development, application modernization, and that is a never-ending process. Because even the things that we modernized 20 years ago need to be modernized again. So it's been great. We've also done a lot of investment in new technologies, what's coming down the pike, so that we could be in a good position to advise our customers on what they could take advantage of, what opportunities technology brought them that would help them accomplish their objectives, their mission more effectively. And that led us to do a lot of experimentation a number of years ago with AI, predecessors to what became the large language models. And when ChatGPT changed the world,
Yes, it did.
we had a foundation for a product, and so we spun off a product company, which was a whole decision process.
I'd love to learn more about that. Yeah, let's dig in.
Yeah, so I firmly believe that it's not good to mix products and services. You do one or the other. It's a very different business model between the two. And I think if you combine them under one roof, you're shortchanging one or the other in the daily decisions and prioritizations that you make. So I thought the company would be better off if we continued to focus on services in InterImage, created Pixel Rain to focus on the development of the product and sales of the product. And I think that's worked well, was in fact the right decision.
So you have built really a strong reputation over nearly 3 decades, where you combine business process management, mission critical software solutions. You've grown from startup to a company serving the Department of Defense, law enforcement, transportation customers. I mean, these are big, massive organizations. What do you believe are the most critical factors for companies to succeed in delivering truly innovative IT solutions? But the decision making comes in because you also want to maintain cost effectiveness. How did that really work out for you?
So I think that it's essential that you really understand uh, the mission objectives of the organization. What are they trying to accomplish? What do they need to accomplish from a business perspective? And whether that's a commercial company or a government agency, there's a functional side, there's a business side, there's a reason that organization exists. Technology is an enabler. And I think that there's certainly technology people who get so caught up in the technology becomes about the technology, but it isn't. It's about accomplishing an objective and what can technology bring to the table to enable that to happen more effectively. By driving effectiveness, oftentimes efficiency follows in that same vein. And so you're really driving overall productivity. productivity, the ability to better accomplish what you're trying to achieve more efficiently.
I often tell people that outcomes are the most important part. So, what you don't get to an outcome without identifying what problem am I solving. And so a company, usually when they exist, they come into existence because they found some problem or some opportunity in a market space that they want to solve, but they don't often connect the dots that the thing that they build should directly tie to that and that only, because that thing gives them their market presence. So your approach and we'll focus on InterImage a little bit here, focuses heavily on understanding business processes before you implement technology. That's what you just said. So you've mentioned that beautiful technology solutions that don't fit the business represent a waste of money. How do you ensure that your team maintains that balance between cutting edge technology and practical business value? Can you maybe share some examples of how this philosophy, the way that you think about this, has led to successful client outcomes?
We as a company are very collaborative, and I think that maintaining that collaborative stance with a customer and being able to adapt and adjust becomes really essential. So we actually were doing iterative development before Agile was even defined, and quickly adopted Agile methodologies when they were formally defined with the Agile Manifesto. And it's techniques that really ensure you're staying close and connected with a customer, that you're understanding and absorbing what their objectives are. And we're there to say, well, you want to accomplish that and you think that's your path. Maybe here's an alternate way of getting to the exact same point, but we could do it um, more effectively, cost effectively, because we can take advantage of technology in this way. So we see ourselves as partners to our customers, and we have to stay attached to them very closely, maintain a collaborative stance, and adjust where we need to adjust so that we can deliver the outcomes that they're looking for.
Partner, attach, adjust. We just came up with a framework. Look at us. That's really good. Okay, what's hard about this process? So I really want to anchor on your discussion around collaboration, right? Since that's the most important part of that. But what's hard about that collaboration?
I think it's always hard when you're, you know, dealing with different people and personalities.
It's the people.
People in the customer organization don't necessarily agree. And so you have to find a balance through that, a path through those, so that you can get to commonality. And that can take work. We did one project in the Navy where we had 7 different stakeholder groups. These were large organization stakeholder groups, and they basic terms they would define differently. So we had to find a way to bring people together and agree on things when they saw things from different perspectives. So that's the challenge.
I like
Take
it.
It's not, it's not a cookie cutter formula. There is some art involved in that.
Okay, so but the art though, because when I was saying I like it, it's because you actually laid out yet another framework. We are going to call you the framework queen. You said to deal with this challenge, it is balance, find a path, and then commonality. And then I define commonality as shared vision, shared language, shared process. Come on, we just did it again. So I hope that everyone's looking. So once you have all of that, what are some of the metrics that you rely on to measure success across maybe let's even say different types of engagements?
There's a lot of standard metrics with respect to the execution of the activities that we're undertaking, things like story points, burn down, but those are metrics of how fast and how much are we delivering. Are we also delivering what they want or need? And a lot of that comes from a quality assurance perspective. Are we doing the right things, and are we doing it in the way in which the customer needs us to be doing that? And so, you have to deliver quality in terms of the functionality works. You deliver quality in terms of the functionality meets the need.
Yeah, that human part, it goes back to that art again too, right? Because it's the perception on whether or not the need is met. Like you could technically be meeting the need, but if the customer doesn't actually feel like the need is met because they perceive one thing that isn't necessarily aligned to what you were delivering, then all of a sudden you have a tremendous issue. I want to switch topics a little bit. I want to talk a little bit about Pixel Rain AI, if you don't mind. Okay, so you recently launched Pixel Rain, significant expansion into AI governance. How are you seeing AI transformation impact the IT services landscape right now? Do you see any opportunities? Do you see even opportunities for your own organization, for InterImage, that really help organizations navigate through the complexity of AI, especially because we know that security and compliance are like sitting high at the top of people's concerns?
They are. It's fascinating how fast this market is changing. Every week there's a new model. Every week there's somebody else who's come out with some new capability. And it's fun to watch and be part of this incredibly rapidly unfolding capability set. What we are finding is that there is some knowledge, but not an extreme amount of knowledge. So there's a lot of things people don't know or understand,
Hmm.
and that can lead to misperceptions. There is a pretty high proportion of people who are saying, yeah, Gen AI delivers bad information,
Right.
hallucinates, right? But there are techniques for addressing that. One major factor is, are you vectorizing your data so that you can point models to your own internal data sets? And a lot of people are still just going to ChatGPT
Right. Right.
and relevant information.
Right.
So the way in which Gen AI gets deployed is um, requires strategic thought, and it's a journey down a path. So we like to talk to people about where are they on that journey? What are they familiar with? And usually it's very much in those baby steps. And we try and get them past some of those misconceptions and understand how it can really impact their business. We definitely use Pixel Rain in InterImage, and it makes us a lot more efficient and productive. And so that's exciting. And I just see a huge impact in the IT industry. We have used Gen AI and Pixel Rain in coding,
Yeah.
and there's going to be a ton more of that in so many other ways.
It actually ties into what we've already talked about. So when we talk about identifying a problem or a challenge, it's really no different than when you have these nested strategies like an AI strategy, right? So maybe I have a growth strategy at one level. So I have my core strategy, vision, mission, values, all that stuff at one level. Then I have my growth strategy, and in it, I might then have a nested strategy of an AI strategy that's going to help me to do that. And so really pinpointing what it is that I'm trying to accomplish, going back again to what we're saying, becomes the most important parts of then deciding how I'm going to apply tech to that. So I don't know, I don't understand. Well, that's okay. What problem am I trying to solve? Right? Because then someone who's a specialist or an expert can come through and help me to actually navigate through that. And I like that your stuff starts with, where are you on this journey? Are you still afraid? Do you have misunderstanding and thinking the bots are coming alive tomorrow? Because a lot of people are still in movie time too, right?
That's true.
With AI. I want to say this to my listeners. If you think about your own technology implementation challenges, what decisions have you made about balancing innovation with practical business needs that significantly impacted your organization's success? Share your experiences with us on LinkedIn and other social media using Dynamic Decisions Podcast. Okay, I want to ask you a question about leadership. Okay, so you're a CEO and founder, nearly 3 decades of experience. You've built a culture around trust, respect, transparent business practices, right? You're leading a team of IT professionals in this very sort of competitive environment. All of that requires extremely strong leadership. Are there strategies that you use to really build up loyalty and maintain high performance while you keep innovating for your clients?
Well, I think that internally, we've really focused on ensuring that there is a company is viewed as a safe place. People can try things, and if they make a mistake and own up to it, don't try and cover it up. They won't be punished for that. They'll get some guidance to help them not make a mistake again. But it's led to an environment where there is trust and an enthusiasm to try things. And that can lead to really great outcomes when you've got a wide array of people making suggestions, trying out new ways of accomplishing a task. That's where you get a lot of innovation. So I've not tried to make this company just a, you know, top down, but make sure people understand we've got their back. We're gonna support them and help them grow as individuals. That said, I think it's also important to demonstrate an ability to make a decision, own it, move forward. And if it turns out it was the wrong decision, okay, you make another decision and you move forward.
You just came up with another framework, right? You did. You did. So give grace, give guidance, decide, own, and guess what you'll get? You'll get trust, you'll get enthusiasm, you'll get innovation, you'll achieve your goals, you'll stay ahead of the competition. Boom. Look at you. Okay, so I have my very favorite part of this podcast is this persona exercise that I take my guests through. So we are going to explore your decision-making style through a persona assessment. I'm going to ask you 4 different questions that represent different decision-making approaches. And after each one of them, you're going to tell me how much asking the question the way that I ask it resonates with how you actually approach your decision-making. You'll have a scale for each decision of 0 to 100%, but you only have 100% across all 4. Okay. Okay. So you ready? All right, here we go. Here's the very first one. The first one is called the feeler. It's a values-driven leader. So this persona prioritizes alignment with core values and mission, often weighing the human impact and cultural fit of decisions alongside business metrics. So when I'm facing a major business or technology decision, I ask myself, does this align with our mission to deliver tomorrow, today, by creating modernized solutions that truly enable our clients to accomplish their missions more effectively? Even if a more profitable approach might favor shortcuts or flashy technology, I need to feel confident that we're genuinely solving critical business problems and maintaining the trust and respect that has made InterImage successful for nearly 3 decades. How much of you resonates with that?
I resonate a lot with that. I think my most consistent motto that I tell employees all the time is what really motivates me is making a difference for our customers, making a difference for our employees. So taking that shortcut for a little extra profitability is not about making a difference.
That's good stuff. So what's your percentage?
Geez, well, I don't know what's coming.
I know.
Say 50%, but I'd like the
Okay.
right to go back, potentially increase.
You have that right. That right is there. So you got 50%, which means you got 50% left for the last 3. Okay. Okay, here's the next one. It's called the planner. It's a strategic visionary. So this persona focuses on long-term implications and future-proofing their decisions, always thinking several moves ahead and considering multiple scenarios. When I'm making strategic decisions about InterImage's service offerings or market positioning, I ask myself, what are the long-term implications of this choice for the IT services industry? and our clients' evolving needs over the next 5 to 10 years. I need to map out how AI adoption, cybersecurity requirements, and changing government procurement practices will affect our federal and commercial clients, ensuring that our capabilities and business model position us for multiple possible futures in an increasingly complex technology landscape.
You're making this really hard. Obviously, that resonates, and pixel rain is an exact analogy for that. It was because we looked forward that we got involved in this so early. And so when ChatGPT came out, we were ready to hit the ground running. And now in the company have very deep capabilities and understand at a very deep level how organizations can take advantage of Gen AI more broadly. You're going to ask for a percentage.
I am.
Have to go back to the first one and drop it. So
Okay.
I would say, let's put this at 20%,
Oh,
maybe 25%.
25. All right, we'll go 25, which leaves 25% left unless we drop your 50 a little bit. But let's see what else we got before we do that. So right now you're working with 25%, but you may have more depending upon how the next ones go. This one is called the counter. It's the challenger of assumptions. This person naturally questions conventional wisdom and looks for contrarian opportunities, often finding success by zigging when others zag. When evaluating new service capabilities or market opportunities, I ask myself, what assumptions are we making about IT modernization and business process management that might be fundamentally wrong? What is everyone else in the government contracting and IT services space doing that we should question? I tend to dig into why certain technology implementations or business processes work a certain way, and whether there's some more efficient, innovative approach that the industry isn't seeing, especially given our unique position as a woman-owned small business with deep technical expertise and strong client relationships.
We've definitely taken an alternate path at times. Um, but I would say that that resonates a bit less than the second one, where we're looking forward and that's what's driving the path as opposed to being contrarian. So I'll put this at 10%.
Okay. All good. Okay. That leaves us with 15% if we keep it in the way that we're going. Okay, here we go. Here's the last one. It's called the data driver. It's an evidence-based decision maker. So this persona relies heavily on metrics, analytics, and concrete evidence to validate decisions, preferring proof over intuition. Before making important decisions about service development, strategic acquisitions, or market expansion, I ask myself, what does our performance data actually tell us about project success rates, client satisfaction scores, and business outcomes across different agencies or industry verticals? I want to see concrete analytics on everything from our CMMI processes and quality metrics to client retention and contract renewal rates. That will help me to validate or contradict our strategic instincts about where to invest our resources next.
Obviously important to look at metrics, but I also think that a demand constantly see all the evidence in all areas can really dramatically slow down the process of making a decision. So you need to pick and choose what you can get your hands on that provides meaningful landscape, and then go forward based on other factors. So yeah, I would say, that could be 10, 15%. So we're good. You
We're
got it.
good. Okay, so here you are. You are 50% feeler, 25% planner, 10% counter, and 15% data driver. It's pretty balanced. It's pretty good. It becomes really interesting information for your team later. Right? So,
It's interesting.
yeah. So as we wrap up this conversation, it's always fun. I love it. It's just one of my favorite little things to get people to think about, how do I actually make my decisions?
Yeah.
I have one final question for you. right? You've built this successful company. You've achieved great certifications and recognition. Now you're pioneering AI governance solution with PixelRain. Can you give one piece of advice to an aspiring leader in the IT services industry? I think I'd be looking for information that might help someone who really wants to innovate, but really who's mission serving, right? Who wants to be able to support missions. What would that piece of advice be?
I would say follow your passion. That is absolutely critical. You qualified it by saying somebody who really wants to innovate and, impact missions. So they already have a passion. I've definitely run into people who aspire to have a business because they just think it's the path to money.
Yeah, it's a
And
failure. Yeah,
oh my gosh,
yeah.
running a business is not about money, and it is a lot about investing your time. So be prepared. But if you have a true passion, about making a difference in some capacity, then follow that passion and believe in yourself and keep moving forward.
Forward motion, people, constant forward motion. Leslie, thank you so much. That's fantastic advice, and it has been wonderful to have you on the show. Thank you for sharing so openly of your expertise and your perspective and your vision. Thank you for just being completely open to us. Can you share with our listeners where they can learn more about you and more about InterImage and PixelRain?
Sure, InterImage website is image, IIMAGE.com, and PixelRain website is pixelrain.com. So very easy to get to. The PixelRain website has a lot of information about Gen AI and how to think about it. So it's very informative, and they can find more information about me there. Also, LinkedIn, Leslie Steele. Find me there.
Awesome. And to our listeners, thank you for tuning in. Remember, the best decisions come from great conversations. If you have enjoyed this episode, please do subscribe it, rate, share it with your network. Let's keep the conversation going on social media using Dynamic Decisions Podcast. And until next time, keep questioning, keep growing, and keep leading with purpose.